All right, what's going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. So Andy Ruiz is the official next opponent for Anthony Joshua on his June date. He is the replacement for Gerald Miller. There's been a lot of controversy with all of this because of Luis Ortiz, obviously turning down, or his team turning down, his manager turning down the $7 million that was offered to him to fight Anthony Joshua in place of Gerald Miller, the fight that I really wanted to see and most fans really wanted to see. We're not getting that fight, and we know now that it was $7 million that was offered to Ortiz, which is 14 times his highest purse. Right, so I already made a video on that. I'm not going to get into that. I think them blaming the manager on everything, I think it's a little bit more to it, but that's the story that they're running with. I don't know why a manager would turn down that kind of money, because a manager has to get paid as well. And if Ortiz's 500K is his biggest purse, and you're offered $7 million to fight as a replacement for Gerald Miller, I don't know why anyone would turn that down. But I already made a video on that. Check that video out. It's one of my recent videos. Now, Andy Ruiz, my thoughts on him was I like him better than the other three options that were available. I like him better than Michael Hunter. I like them better than Trevor Bryan. Okay, so this is what we got stuck with. Listen, I like Andy Ruiz. I like him. All right, he's a good fighter. The dude can fight. Just right now, the timing is off for him to get in the ring with Joshua, because this is such a meaningful fight. This is Joshua's first fight here in New York. Okay, he's fighting in Madison Square Garden. The tickets are very, very expensive, and this is his showcase fight. Okay, before it was Gerald Miller, where a lot of us didn't really care to see that fight because a lot of us didn't know whether or not Gerald Miller was really worthy of getting the opportunity. But the dude sold the fight. Big black dude, a lot of talk, pushing, shoving. I'm from the hood. All of that shit sold the fight. Okay, it was selling the fight. It worked out. Gerald Miller has been exchanging words with Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Deontay Wilder especially. The guy is good for what he does outside of the ring. He's good to sell the fight. Okay, so that fight was already made. We thought it was already happening, and we was just looking to see what's going to happen in this situation, because even though Gerald Miller is not the most proven heavyweight, at least he brought a lot of talk to it. There was a lot of just unknowns there because he is such a big heavyweight. He is probably the biggest heavyweight out of all of the guys that are in the top 10. And, we wanted to see how that was going to work out, with his volume and his pressure and everything with Joshua. Could Joshua be able to handle it? Andy Ruiz is a better fighter to me than Gerald Miller. Okay? Gerald Miller obviously brought the pressure, the volume, but it was probably because he's been on drugs all this time. I don't think he just started taking drugs for this fight. All right, I can't prove that. That's just a guess. That's just an assumption. I can assume whatever I want now when you pop on 3 damn drugs and a damn test. All right, so I can assume whatever I want at this point. For a guy that big, that heavy, how can he have that amount of volume and whatever? Andy Ruiz is a better fighter. All right, he's not. He fought Joseph Parker. I thought the fight was a draw. The guy can box much better than Gerald Miller. He has fast hands. He has solid power. He just has better overall boxing IQ, boxing ability than Gerald Miller. And I think he's better than the people that Gerald Miller fought. All right. But regardless of how I feel, it doesn't matter. It's a lose-lose situation for Anthony Joshua, because people are going to look at Joshua coming to this fight. Anyone that's interested in this fight, that's a casual, never seen Andy Ruiz fight, they're going to look at this guy. He's short, he's fat, and you're going to look at Joshua. He's tall, and he has the best physique in the heavyweight division against the guy with the worst physique. And as far as like the top 10, top 15, wherever you want to place Andy Ruiz, that's what it's going to look like. He's a replacement. He's not a guy that people were calling for Joshua to fight. People do like him. People do acknowledge that he's good. He's skillful. But it's a lose-lose situation. And this whole thing is just messed up. Let's just get the fight over with, and it is what it is. But Andy Ruiz, besides all that, Andy Ruiz is actually one of the fastest heavyweights in the division. Outside of Joseph Parker, he probably has, arguably, he has the fastest hands out of the top 10, top 15 heavyweights up there. Okay? Dude can box. Dude's a scrap, for real. It's just that, is he going to be good for Joshua? Joshua should be able to handle him. He should be, as good as we think he is. He's fought guys like Klitschko. He's fought guys like Povetkin. He's fought Joseph Parker. It's not like he can't deal with a guy with fast hands. He's fought guys with fast hands before. So I think the matchup is fine. It's just the timing of it is not that great. So he's not going to get credit for winning this fight. And if he loses, it's going to make him look even worse, because why you have no business, a guy on your caliber at this point, have no business losing to a guy like Andy Ruiz. But this is boxing. Anything can happen. All right? Especially because we want the Wilder fight. We want the Fury fight. You lose to a guy like Andy Ruiz at this point, who is very good, but, he's not one of the biggest threats. It would have been more, he wouldn't have been criticized as much if he lost to a Dillian White or a Luis Ortiz, or Wilder or Fury. Those are the top tier guys that everybody sees in the heavyweight division right now. Ruiz, not as proven, because he did lose to Joseph Parker, regardless of how I feel the fight went, or many of you felt the fight went. I know a lot of people that think that Ruiz actually won that fight, got robbed. I've heard that plenty and plenty of times. All right, so listen, Ruiz, good fight, just bad timing. I think Joshua will win the fight. He will outbox. He has to, be very careful, especially earlier rounds, because Andy is faster than him. All right. Andy will be throwing a lot of jabs to the body, leaving Joshua at some point will be left, I'm sure he'll be left open up top. And I think that would be the game plan for Ruiz. Attack the body first and then leave that up top area, open to get, to catch an overhand right over Joshua's jab or something like that. I think that's the way the game plan is going to go with Ruiz. Short guy, doesn't have a long reach. Anthony Joshua needs to maintain the distance and outbox him from the outside. Okay, but he has to be very cautious because Ruiz is usually used to fighting taller guys with a longer reach advantage. So he needs to, bring the fight closer and land throw those big combinations that he throw, all right? But he's used to it. He's used to fighting taller guys. It is what it is. But Joshua should be able to handle him. But it does not do anything for his career. It does not do anything for his open fight. I'm not going to even pretend like it does. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's a fight that I'm going to like and enjoy because I do think Ruiz is better than Miller. It's just that I don't think Ruiz brings the same attention that Miller brought. I don't think he brings the same kind of dangers that Miller was going to bring into this fight, right? But who knows how good Miller is at this point, Who knows? In fact, I should make another video about that because, his suspension is very, very short. We will be seeing him back in the ring later this year, so I definitely will make another video talking about Gerald Miller. But the fight has been announced. It is what it is. I am happy that it's Ruiz outside of the other two, the two other fighters that we were going to get. I really wanted Ortiz, but we're not getting Ortiz now thanks to the PBC system. And I don't know, people don't want me to blame it on that, but it's a pattern at this point. I think it's safe to say that it is a pretty much a pattern. These guys just don't really want to deal with Eddie Hearn, even though I know Ruiz is a newer PBC guy. He just got there, just had his first fight recently on PBC, so at least he should be ready to fight. He didn't really get a lot of damage from fighting Demetrenko. He didn't really, he didn't get no damage. It was an easy win for him. So he's just going to go right back into training up until he still has a whole month until that fight. So it's good for him that he still have time to train and prepare himself for this fight. But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. This is the fight we getting, and listen, it's not the worst fight. It's just that no one's really gonna care, as far as Joshua. All right. So anyway, let me know what you guys think on this. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.